How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. And be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and give me your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. But in this video, we're going to be talking about obviously why I love Halloween Resurrection. Now, Halloween Resurrection is probably the most underrated Halloween film that I've watched. Well, I think Halloween 4 is pretty underrated, but I think Halloween Resurrection is one of the one for me. I don't know if it's the most underrated. It's definitely one of the best. Like it's one of my favorites personally. Um, so Resurrection is for me. I like that. Like it was just a whole like different setting. They did something different. They didn't do the same thing like they did in H2O and like they did in the other ones. They did something different, which I loved. Um, a lot of people I feel give this movie a lot of hate, which I really do love this movie. This movie is absolutely funny. I love all the characters in it. I think it's the most underrated, one of the most underrated Halloween films, hands down. Look, and I know people are going to be probably a comment down below and saying that, probably saying, that they don't like the movie, you know. But look, I understand that it's not a perfect movie, but there's been way worse movies than this, like by far. Um, Halloween 3 is probably the worst in the whole franchise by far. Like nobody could say that it isn't. Like Halloween 3 is by far the worst because again, Michael wasn't in it. Now this movie, at least, okay, maybe the mask. I love the mask actually. I think the mask. I think the look of Michael in this movie is pretty underrated. You know, and a lot of people give it crap. Um, they don't really like it, I guess, because they killed Laurie Strode in the beginning or whatever. But honestly, aside from that, it's not a perfect movie by no means. I'm not saying that it's perfect or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's definitely better than most movies out there. Like it's better. There's been a lot worse movies out there than this film. Like, you know, like I think Rob Zombie's Halloween is even worse. I think that's far worse than this. Like this is not even that bad to me. Um, and it's like a lot of people like H2O, which H2O is another good one that I like. Um, I really do like I really do like H2O. It's a good film, but a lot of people always seem to give it, a lot of crap because I think it's because they didn't like probably the new setting or whatever that they did to where they were actually going to, Michael's house and like staying there, which I don't have a problem with that. That's something new. That's something different. And I loved it. They didn't try to, it wasn't like the other films or anything like that. It was, they tried to change it up and do something new, which I liked. So that's just my opinion on it. I really did like the film. I think it's a good film personally. I think it's the most underrated film, the most underrated Halloween film in the franchise. Um, a lot of people give it hate, you know, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, probably give me crap for it, which is totally fine, um, because there is a lot of people out there that don't like this film because of those reasonings, as I just said. Laurie Strode dying in the beginning. Um, I guess they just didn't like the setting for some reason. I don't know. They didn't like the story or anything. Which, listen, I understand. It's not a perfect movie, you know. It's not a perfect movie, but it's definitely one of the most underrated movies in my opinion. And there's a lot more there's worse movies out there, This isn't the only one. So I definitely believe that this film is underrated I love this film personally, and I know a lot of people don't, but I love this film. And so if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a, I'd probably give it at least like a 9 or 8. You know, that's just personally me though. Like, and I know a lot of people are gonna have, their own opinions about it, and they're not gonna like it. There's a lot of people that do like it as well, like that do think that it's underrated. You know, but there's also people out there that don't like it, which there's people that like Rob Zombie's films, and I don't like those films at all. So, I mean, everybody's got different preferences, but yeah, this film, I feel like, this all the characters, I think, was just enjoyable. I think they were, enjoyable to watch. They were all, it's pretty damn funny. It's a funny film as well, but it's also scary, in my opinion. But yeah, I definitely like this movie. It's definitely underrated. Um, when I first watched this film, I immediately liked it from the get go, and I didn't understand like why like it got so much hate. Um, but I honestly love it. It's a good film. It's an underrated film. Definitely a lot. Just like a lot of people, like H2O is, again. I'm not the biggest fan of H2O, but I do like it. You know, I do like it. Um, but Halloween Resurrection is the one that I feel is underrated. Like, and nobody's gonna change my mind on that. Like, I just feel like this film is just so underrated. The setting, what they tried to do, they try to do something different, which I understand. You know, people didn't want to see Laurie Strode die in the beginning, which I know Laurie Strode, aka Jamie Lee, didn't want to. I guess she didn't want to. I forget what it was. I think they killed her off screen for whatever reason, and a lot of people didn't like that they killed her on screen. In Resurrection, people didn't really understand that, like, which I didn't understand that either. So I think that's really the only reasoning why people even give it crap from the begin with. Like, people just don't like it, just don't like it because of that, and also just didn't like the story. But I personally liked it. It's definitely an underrated film. Um, that's just my honest opinion on it. Definitely a underrated film. Everybody, the cast, Busta Rhymes, doing karate and Michael. Look. I know it's a little cheesy at times, but I think it's funny. You know, I think it's pretty damn funny. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a good film. I just wanted to make a video and just give my thoughts on it, and just tell you guys why I like this film so much. I mean, I just like it. It's a good film. There's been a lot more worse films out there. You know, way worse than this. Like Halloween 3. Like Halloween 3 didn't have Michael in it at all. So if I had to pick and choose which film I like more, I like Resurrection more because of that, because Michael's actually in it and we get to see him. So it's not like we don't get to see him. It's not like Halloween 3. So I mean, there's a lot more worse movies out there, and this movie, not saying again it's not perfect or anything, but it's definitely a good film in my opinion. So be sure to comment down below. Let me know in the comments like what you guys think. Down below, like what do you guys think about Resurrection, and what do you guys think about like the characters, and also what do you think about like the setting? What do you think about them like taking a trip to like Michael's house and all that? Because I think that's probably the best part of the film, personally. But that's just my opinion on that. But let me know, as always, in the comments. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button. But until then, y'all, be sure to, again, hit that like button, subscribe button, comment down below. Give me your guys' thoughts. All right, y'all. Peace out.